so Facebook is good. Let's see what happens with Instagram. Okay, looks like we're all going. Let me just push my buttons here. That one's good. This one's good. And okay, and there we are with YouTube. So we are all good. I'm going to close those and open these like I always do. All right. We're streaming again today. It was a little chilly, willy earlier this week, so pulled out the Olaf in honor of the cold. And no, the cold doesn't bother us anyway. It was bothering me, let me tell you. I knew it was going to get cold. I did not expect it to get as cold as it was. I remember working and looking up and seeing like 30 something on my computer for the temperature, and I'm like, it wasn't supposed to be that cold. So I was a little surprised, but it was okay. All right, so we are going to talk Disney today. Okay, so we're going to talk holiday goodies at Epcot. I know we talked about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party recently. We've talked about some general resort stuff. Today we're going to Epcot. Okay, so their Communicore Hall has experimental prototype cookies of tomorrow. There is a prototype cookie, which is a sugar cookie with orange cranberry icing and dark chocolate. There is a ginger molasses cookie with cream cheese icing. And there is a salted caramel Spaceship Earth cookie. And they are literally shaped like Spaceship Earth. And they have, I can't tell from the picture if it's white or silver, but they have like edible glitter sparkles on them as well. To go with your cookie, you can get a gingerbread milkshake. You can also get the alcoholic version of that milkshake with whipped cream vodka. You can get hot cocoa, again non-alcoholic or with whipped cream vodka. Crooked Can Brewing Company Gingerbread Bock. Gulfstream Brewing Baking Spirits Bright Gingerbread Red Ale. Frosted Gingerbread White Stout. There's a beer flight and there's a seasonal wine. Favorites of festivals past menu. I know we're doing a lot of treats right now, but there is some real food. Just hang in there with me. If it's really making you snacky and hungry like it did me this morning, feel free to mute me for a minute and come back. Okay, this is in Communicore Plaza. There are Reuben croquets, brown sugar and mustard glazed ham sliders. There's a Pantone holiday trifle. That has eggnog, custard, and cranberry cherry compote, and sugared almonds. Some other beverages you can get: Cigar City Brewing Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Brown Ale, Keel Farms Pecan Pie Hard Cider, Southern Tier Brewing Company Tiramisu Imperial Stout. There's a seasonal white wine, a seasonal red wine, Martin Ray Chardonnay, Catherine Goldschmidt Cabernet Sauvignon, and there is a beverage flight as well. At Connections, you can get a Figment Holiday Sweater Waffle, chocolate-coated gingerbread waffle with a flurry of Blizzard-themed sprinkles and chocolate garnish. There's a spiced caramel apple beverage, which is Minute Maid cranberry juice, apple cider, and caramel syrup, garnished with a cinnamon stick. You can also get the spirited version, which has Fireball cinnamon whiskey. Spirited version. I'm gonna have to remember that. That's a great term. Everybody put that in your remembrals so you don't forget it. Okay, holiday hearth desserts from the Odyssey. There's a cranberry oatmeal cookie, which is plant-based. There's a red velvet cake pop with festive sprinkles. There's reindeer chow with M&M's holiday blended colored candies. There's an apple caramel crumb cake, and there's a chocolate-covered toffee brittle. There's hot cocoa. There's a frozen caramel hot cocoa with Twix cookie bar pieces and whipped cream. There's a winter hard cider, BRLO winter hard cider. I'm assuming that's a brand name. I'm not a hard cider person. I might become one, but I'm not today. Keel Farms Yukon Maple Bourbon Hard Cider. $3 Brewing Peppermint Hard Cider. Wicked Weed Brewing Jack Frost IPA. Ivanhoe Park Brewing Company Cranberry Vanilla Wheat Ale. There's a Gilded Noel White Chocolate Imperial Blonde Stout. There's a beer flight and a hard cider flight. And you can also get hot cocoa with peppermint schnapps, which they are calling a cocoa peppermint warmer. Shanghai Holiday Kitchen. I'm going to give you guys just kind of the highlights. There is pork fried rice. There's a beef noodle soup bowl, and spring rolls. Refreshment Outpost in the African Outpost has spiced shrimp stew with rice and a raspberry Dole Whip in a waffle cone. There's also a ginger snap lager, chocolate mint cookie stout rather. I knew I was going to do that at some point. It's done now. There's a caramel apple hard cider, and Boyd and Blair have a chai tea. Okay, Bavaria holiday menu in Germany. There's pork schnitzel, cheese fondue, hazelnut Linzer cookie with raspberry jam. They're doing these different this year. This is the raspberry cookie that haunted me. This year they are sandwich cookies, and the top cookie has a Mickey Mouse shaped cutout that you can see the raspberry filling through. They still look to have about 1.5 inches of powdered sugar on them. So if that's what you were worried about, the powdered sugar is still there. The cookie shape is just different. There's a hard cider. There's a smoked dark lager. There's a beverage flight. Tuscany Holiday Kitchen in Italy has a fried house-made pizza dough dessert with sugar, cinnamon, and chocolate. And then they also have a Montanera pizza. They have a Pilsner, a stout. I'm going to do it again. Prosecco, Moscato, Chianti, Sangria, and a blood orange margarita. Fife and Drum in the American Adventure has an apple pie sundae, which is basically the apple pie filling and caramel sauce over ice cream with a little bit of streusel thrown in. Regal Eagle Steakhouse. I can't talk today. Why does this always happen to me on Friday? Smokehouse, rather. They have a frozen gingerbread eggnog. Let's see. There's an apple pie frozen slush at Block and Hans in the American Adventure. American Holiday Table Menu, slow roasted turkey, blackened catfish, chocolate cookie, chocolate cherry stout, Bahopberg IPA, $3 Brewing Eggnog White Porter. Okay, funnel cake from the American Adventure, red velvet cookie funnel cake. Japan has a strawberry bun, a sushi tree roll, and tashikashi soba noodles in hot dasashi fish-based soup topped with shrimp tempura and chopped green onion. Okay, they have chocolate sake, they have Japanese punch, they have a Zuzu refresher, which is Zuzu and passion fruit, with lemonade and popping green apple boba pearls. Might be good for the kiddos. Okay, alright. There is some other stuff. La Chim, and I'm probably not pronouncing that right, so sorry. Please feel free to politely correct me if you think I've done it wrong so I can learn to do it right. They have rugula and potato latkes and salmon and potato latkes. They have pastrami, and they have a Mickey-shaped almond black and white cookie. Okay, in France we have gingerbread macaroon, frozen hot chocolate martini. Okay, in Canada we have a maple leaf shortbread cookie. We have seared salmon and we have beef bourguignon with crushed potatoes. We have frozen Joffrey's coffee. We have a peanut butter banana porter, maple cookie blonde ale, brown sugar coffee porter. There's a beer flight, an ice flight, and a regional red wine. Okay, the refreshment port, which is near Canada, has a turkey poutine, a cinnamon sugar donut hard cider, and cranberry wine. Swirled Showcase, which is between World Showcase and the Imagination Pavilion. Liquid nitrogen chocolate peppermint mousse. Soft serve ice cream in a waffle cone. Vanilla, apple cinnamon, or dark chocolate. They have a soda float, which is made with red cream soda or root beer with vanilla soft serve. There's a Fireball cinnamon whiskey float, and there's a coffee float, dark chocolate soft serve with Joffrey's cold brew coffee, and a choice of chocolate cream liqueur or white chocolate liqueur. Holiday sweet treats. This is near the port of entry. There's a peppermint sundae. There's a festive light, which is hot cocoa base. There's and it is Christmas sugar cookie hot cocoa, gingerbread hot cocoa, and cookie butter hot cocoa. There's also a chocolate peppermint shake. There's an Oh Christmas Tree IPA. Hazelnut brownie porter. And okay, we did the chocolate peppermint shake. Okay. Okay. Between World Showcase and the Imagination Pavilion, we have Mele Kamikamalika. I didn't do that right either. Holiday Kitchen. So there is Kahlua pork. There's Lomi Lomi salmon. There's a coffee mocha cookie. Maui Brewing Company mango sticky rice IPA. There's Florida Orange Groves Winery pineapple sparkling wine. And there's melon breeze, old pineapple juice, lime juice, melon liqueur, and Sailor Jerry spiced rum. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Chestnuts and Good Cheer, which is between World Showcase. They have a variety of cinnamon glazed nuts. They have non-alcoholic eggnog. They have a chestnut praline imperial ale, and they have eggnog. Okay. Sunshine Seasons has a peanut butter cookie with M&Ms, and they have a cookie milkshake. Spiced gelato with whipped cream, a cookie wreath, Mickey-shaped holly, and sprinkles. Joffrey's has a holiday cookie latte. Holiday Hearth Desserts has reindeer chow. Okay, and I think, yep, okay. I think that's all of our holiday treats. Some of them do repeat around the world. Not all of them, but some of them you can find in the front of the park and the back of the park. But I always like to do the cookie stroll in Epcot. I can't really do the cookie stroll because most of the cookies have nuts in them and I'm nut adverse. But I like walking around and seeing pictures of all of them. And I do occasionally try the one or two that I can have without, that are not nut based. I think last year there was a snickerdoodle that didn't have any nuts in it that we tried. But I think every year there's one, and before that there was a black and white cookie. Because I remember we brought it back to the table, and my son's like, "Wow, the one cookie in the cookie stroll we can have." But I know nuts are part of the holidays, and I know that they really do affect the flavor of some cookies. So I'm not upset. I just like to, smile about it. I just come home and make my cookies, and we always go to Goofy's when we're in Disney. So we always go to Goofy's Candy Company, and they have bunches of nut-free cookies. So we just make that our cookie stroll instead. But if you can do the cookies in the cookie stroll, it is really fun to stroll around the world and taste them all. Okay, so let's Move to the other piece of Disney news, which is the Destiny did its inaugural sailing. So let's talk about some of the cool stuff that's on board. Um, okay, so you can step into the world of Norse mythology with the legend of Loki. The Grand Hall transforms into one of its signature villainous looks. Okay, the Grand Hall is also home to Celebration of a King, which is a tribute to the King of Wakanda. Unfortunately, Loki crashes the celebration, assuming that it's all about him. You can also encounter Maleficent. In Saga, the Mift Enchantress Maleficent will hold court in a one-of-a-kind encounter, transforming the entertainment lounge into whatever suits her fancy, calling forth the glittering regalia of a medieval throne room, dark echoes of an eerie dungeon, or the shadows of a foreboding forest. She's here to show guests the wonders of her magical powers, inviting only the bravest into the lounge to approach her and be cast under her spell, surrounded by lightning, rain, fire, and smoke. Okay, guests can step into the darker side of Walt Disney Animation Studios' The Princess and the Frog and meet playfully sinister practitioner of the macabre, Dr. Fancellor, to see if they can keep up with his swindles and scams in his makeshift parlor. Can they spot a sleight of hand? Roam the upper levels of the Grand Hall, and they just might find out. Go on, pick a card. Okay, if she doesn't scare you, this piano bar is darling. The fashion icon Cruella de Vil is honored in every detail of de Vil's, the one-of-a-kind piano lounge on board the Disney Destiny. Here guests can literally look out for Cruella de Vil, and they just might catch a glimpse of the legendary diva herself in Troublemaking with Cruella, an invitation to help our beloved villain rework Roger Radcliffe's classic tune to lyrics that suit her fancy and do justice to her marvelousness. Okay, you should also be sure to gather in the Grand Hall, for a darker take on the traditional Disney Cruise Line Kiss Goodnight, when the chandelier becomes enchanted with an especially sinister glow, complete with a surprise villain appearance on stage, to offer them some extra special Kiss Good Nightmares. Okay, so we got all kinds of cool Disney stuff going on. We got the holidays rolling in. We've got the new ship. There are, of course, offers. There are discounts for Disney World. There's also, if you have Disney Plus and the Disney Plus perks, I booked that offer for a client today. And if you're headed to California early next year, there is a 3-day Park Hopper Pass deal coming out very soon for the California parks. But let's not forget that Disney, while we love it and it's magical and it's wonderful and it's one of my favorite places to be at the holidays, there are lots of other holiday places you could be. Universal comes to mind. You can do Breakfast with the Grinch. You can stroll through Seuss Landing where the Who's are out and about. There is, of course, Christmas in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which, of course, would be my choice. I hear that Christmas came to Epic Universe last week. So if you're doing any of the Epic lands, they are all decked out and ready. There's Earl the Squirrel. I'm sure the Minions are doing something special for Christmas. There's also Christmas in New York City. So we have parts of the Macy's parade. We have the tree lighting at the end of the parade. We have all that cool stuff. And that's just in the parks. The resorts, just like the Disney resorts, have their own special, wonderful extras that they do for the holidays. So you can hit Universal, you can hit Disney, you can hit both. I've done both. It's very easy to do. There's even a shuttle that goes between the two. So if you don't want to worry about an Uber or Lyft, or maybe you have littles and you need car seats, you can book a shuttle that'll take you when you're done your first leg of your trip. You just put your luggage in the shuttle and go on over to the next destination and start the second leg with your new all your new excitement for your new destination. Um, if you are near a Gaylord resort, you can do ICE, the famous ice sculpture exhibition. I've been a few times. Every Gaylord resort has a different theme. They don't do the same theme in all the resorts every year. Each resort gets its own theme. I've seen Frosty. I've seen Santa Claus is coming to town. I saw something else too. What was the other one? Um, Christmas in New York City. And they literally had a taxi cab carved out of ice you could sit in. There are ice slides you can slide down. It's about 7 degrees. You go in and you get your ticket and you get your big blue heavy parka. And I would take a scarf and earmuffs and gloves or mittens. I do have to warn you, if you're going with somebody, make sure you both take your cell phones, because one year when we were doing pictures, the phone got too cold and we had to turn it off, not turn it off, but we had to close the camera app and stick it in a pocket near our bodies for a couple minutes and let it warm up. And then, while that one was warming, we took the other phone out and took pictures. So the cold will get to your electronic devices. That's been a couple years. Maybe they're better now, but it doesn't hurt to warn you that those things may happen. But it's really cool. And then at least at the one, I do the one outside of DC at National Harbor. And that one always has in the last room a beautiful clear ice nativity scene, which is just really, really cool. You can go in, you can stay in there as long as you want. They don't, I've never had them rush us out at all. So that's a really cool thing to do if you're near it. If you have a regional or local theme park, like I have Hershey Park, that's not far from me, they do a Christmas thing where some of the more popular rides are open and they're selling hot chocolate and popcorn. And um, one year we were there that we did it, they had a petting zoo with reindeer. So it's just kind of a cool one. It's not, they don't do it every day. I think it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But that's also something you can check out, is your local stuff. Don't forget to support, the schools and stuff in your area. Get tickets to if they open it up to the public, get tickets to the Christmas play. Go to the Christmas bazaar. Yeah, I found some really, really cute Christmas things at bazaars over the years. One of my favorites is my wooden stacking reindeer. You'll see him as the season goes on, but he's literally just 3 cubes, and I forget whether he says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, and then it's Rudolph. So he's got the antlers up top in the smallest cube, and then he's got the red light nose. So you can find some really cute stuff. You can find some unusual stuff. If anybody wants to shop for me, I'm a 5-day park hopper. Travel is a great gift, especially if you have older children and they don't really need anything else. They're not outgrowing their clothes all the time like they do when they're little. They're not really into toys. They're into electronics, and they don't get replaced all the time like toys do. Travel is a great way to make memories that will last a lifetime. My son and I do it every year, and we are never sorry that there are fewer boxes under the tree and more memories in our hearts. Okay, I'm gonna get off my little travel trip soapbox there. Sorry, I got a little overwhelmed. Um, if you have any questions at all, if you're curious about anything, any destination, any kind of traveling, as some of you know, travel is not easy for me. I have balance issues, and that makes things like cruise ships not possible at the moment. It also makes other travel a little challenging. So if you are challenged by a travel situation, if you have perhaps a relative, a sibling, a parent, and you would love to travel with them, but you're a little, unsure about it, I am happy to talk it through with you, to give you some options. My only goal is to make sure that you have the best trip you can possibly have. So please reach out if you have questions, comments, concerns. If you want to correct any of my pronunciations from today, Um, and I will see you next week. Everybody stay warm. Um, and we got that holiday feeling starting to roll in. So enjoy it because it's going to be gone before we know it. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you next Friday.